Nice. How is it over there?
Uh, right now it's kind of cloudy, but I mean it's not too cold, so I'm not complaining. I'm not a fan of the cold, man.
No, I'm based in the UK myself, so I can
Uh,
relate to what you're saying. It's cold here all the time, so yeah, it's
yeah.
great to see it's cold. These ones usually last around sort of 30 minutes. And
Okay.
we're just going to recap from your last call with us. So I'm going to ask you some more questions just to get a better understanding of what it is you're looking to do online and some of the challenges that are keeping you from making that happen. And then we'll run up a longer game plan for you here on this call. I can tell you a little bit more about our different programs and how they will work for you. And if we feel like we'd be a good fit to work together, then we can just go ahead and get you started at the end of this call. Does that all sound cool to you?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Okay, nice. Just before we get started today, do you have something to write notes on today?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, so when it comes to growing your own online business, do you know what it is that you're looking to achieve specifically?
Uh, no, that's what the last call was kind of about. Is I have quite a few different ideas, and that's one of my personal problems. Is I'm a dreamer, and so I have a lot of different
Yeah.
ideas. I kind of need to just narrow in and like, okay, hey, this is what I feel like you should focus on. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll run with it.
Okay. And what is the outcome you're looking to achieve with your online business?
Well, what I told the guy is like absolute bare minimum is I want to make at least $2,000 a month consistently
Okay.
because my wife and I plan on having a baby, and that's gonna offset her money so that I promised her we have a baby. She's not working for 5 years, and
Yeah.
she had a previous marriage, and he said the same thing, and he didn't hold that, and so I'm like, hey, I'm absolutely going to give you 5 years, and that way she can raise our kid. So that's the plan.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Do you also work right now?
I do work right now. I'm working full time. I manage a warehouse, and I mean it's not like I'm busy, but like it has some perks with it to where I can do some stuff. So
Are you looking to continue to stay in the warehouse and managing role or go full time in the online business?
to be completely honest with you, like if I can, I like I would absolutely love to go full time in
Yeah.
the online business. That's like my end goal. At the same time, like my work, like they're like family to me, and so
Of course.
I feel like if I just up and left, that it would just kind of throw everything into chaos. And so I would want to be able to be there long enough to make sure that they have someone that can fill my shoes, and
Yeah.
they can do their thing. So or maybe just work there like part time. That way I can go in, I can still give them like what they need from me, and then I can dip out like half a day or something like that.
And how much would you need to before you reduce your hours or even consider leaving altogether? Is it still 2 to 3K or is it?
That would bump up my like I would probably want to double that at least. Like, but what I was telling the guy, like I'm a very ambitious person, and so like when I saw that you guys were saying people are making 10K a month, like honestly, like the thing I like about it the most is I'm very competitive. I want to be like the number one guy on the leaderboard. Like I don't want to be like you know with bare minimum is like no. I like what's I want to like I don't know, it's a game, I feel like, and so it's like I want to be the best in the game. That's what I want. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, so you want to be the best. What is the best version of you? How much is he bringing in? Or how much should you see the best version of yourself bringing in per month?
I think the best that I was bringing in was probably about. Honestly, it was right around probably $10,000 a month. Right now, I'm not bringing in that at all. But like at the same time,
Yeah.
like I had 2 or 3 small businesses going on. Some of them were kind of some shady shit that I probably shouldn't have been doing. But like, I used to be a high level kickboxer. I'd teach classes. I had a bunch of private lessons, and then I had my full time job. But I was killing myself, and that changed something in my head. I was like, man, I'm a really really hard worker, but I don't want to work my body to where I die at 70 because I'm just broken. Like I want to use my brain, but that's also a balance because I had a great uncle that he died from a brain hemorrhage because he gets super stressed out. He was a movie producer and all this stuff, and he got stressed and boom, just fell over. And so I was like, yeah, I don't want that either. So I want to find I feel like life's all about balance, and that's really what I want to find. Is I want to find balance, but I want to help other people find balance too.
Yeah, so when it comes to finding balance, then, so you already work full time, you've tried a few different things in the past. What's got you considering starting an online business?
I think the convenience of it. I think that the lifestyle that I want to have with me and my wife is what is attractive to me. I got into trading stocks, so I have quite a few friends that are from the UK that trade stocks full time, and so that was part of the course I want to do. Is I feel like the stock market is an absolutely incredible tool especially for middle class people or lower income people. But the problem is the teachers suck, and all they're doing is chasing a dollar, and they don't care if they screw over the people that are learning from them. And I feel like that's fucked up. Everyone should be a good person and trying to add value to people's lives. I'm not telling you I'm going to make you into the next Warren Buffett, but I think I could definitely add enough value to where yeah, you're not going to be making thousands and thousands of dollars next to a pool, but I think I could tell you in a course how to actually make a little bit of side money and have fun doing it too. And there's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but then I don't know,
yeah, it's a pretty common misconception that people get stuck with when trying to figure out ways they can help people. You don't really need to take someone from a complete beginner to a master or have them perfect the skill of trading. All you have to do is take someone from A to B, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's all you have to do. Just help them make a transition from where you was to where you are now. So what have you been trying so far then to work towards that 10K per month goal?
So I started doing a podcast with my brother and his best friend, and because I live in the United States, obviously, and America is a giant shit show on the world scene because I believe that our politics is absolutely corrupt, and I feel like people can't voice their opinion. If I'm more Republican, and so I would align more with Donald Trump, but at the same time I feel like Donald Trump's a fucking idiot. And you can't be saying that kind of shit on the world scene when you're the boss of 350 million people. And so I think that at the same time I don't like all this woke shit. For me it's ruining the work. But that's the thing. I don't know how the UK is. I had an Australian friend on my podcast, and we never really got to dive into it. But in America, they have teachers teaching little kids that they might not be the right sex, and it's dude, so that kid's over there eating crayons, and you're telling him that he might not be a boy, he might be a girl. What do you think's going through that kid's head? That to me, that's evil as shit. And so what I started doing is I started saying stuff that people are too scared to say, because in America, if I'm yeah, dude, that's fucked up, people are oh, you're against the trans movement. You don't support these people. It's dude, if you're 21 years old and you want to go and cut your shit off or whatever, dude, go for it. But leave the fucking kids alone. And so that's what got me into it. And then the border crisis and stuff. It's everyone in America is so black and white. I'm dude,
yeah,
it's more gray. And so I Like that's what kind of got me sparked. And then when I started talking to people about it, like they would get triggered and they get pissed. And so I was like,
the UK is the exact same in terms of the whole sort of woke movement and trying.
Oh, you guys do the same shit?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same, right? So you said that you've been talking about this on your podcast, is that right?
Well, so that's the fucked up thing. I've been trying to, but like I'm so like so
Have you
America.
been trying to, though? Because you
No.
either talk about it or you don't, right?
Well, no. Like that's one of the things that like really pissed me off is like I put it out there, but I don't get like I get censored. Like America is the land of the free, man. I got freedom of speech. I can say whatever the fuck I want here.
Yeah.
Or that's what you're told. But when I put it on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube and I get it like taken down or nobody gets to see it, it's like, damn, man. Like then you start looking into it and it's like ever since 9/11 happened, like they have been literally stripping away our freedom little bit by little bit by a little bit. I'm like, dude, if we don't stop this shit, like we're not going to be any different than any other country. And like these politicians are going to have way too much fucking power.
Yeah.
Like we need to literally tell them to go fuck themselves because and like that's what got me ambitious. But like when I started talking to people, it made me realize that it doesn't matter if I talk to you, like I feel like you agree with me right now, but there's going to be something that you and I will talk about that you don't agree with me. The second I say something that is emotionally charges you, boom. Then it's like unless I can reel you back in, that conversation's done. It's ruined, and you're like, yeah, dude, fuck you, Adam. And like it happens every time, and like I'm not saying that like you're a bad person or I'm a bad person. It's just it's human nature, but like people don't dive into that. And I've had a lot of life experiences. I've dealt with a lot of different shit.
Why do you feel like you need to dive into that though? Is that something that you feel that you need to discuss when it comes to saying up your online business and talking about issues like this?
I don't know.
You need to do.
Really, I don't know because for me, I'm like, how can so I feel like it's like I have this end goal, but like I feel like to get to that, like you have to almost start from the ground and like build it slowly up because it's like I can't talk about these major issues because I say one word and I just lost 50% of the people in the world, and it's like, okay, well that's a major problem, you know. And so it's like, okay, well how do I get here to where they can hear some of that stuff? Well, then I try to do that, and it's like hit or miss, and it's like that's where I'm having a struggle.
It comes with a balance of providing value as well. So you can talk about your beliefs and say things that other people might deem as controversial if you are also providing value. If you do have an offer that is genuinely there to support and help people, right? So when it comes to actually having that offer in place, having something that you can monetize and sell and speak about and provide value to people with, what would you say is your biggest challenge?
So I tried doing this after my call yesterday, and I was just like, okay, I need to set up my classroom. And so what I did was I wanted to use myself as an example. Like, I'm not joking. I'm being dead serious. You could ask me literally any question in the world, and I'm going to give you a God's honest truth. It's going to make me nervous. Like, obviously, like, nobody wants to be that vulnerable with somebody. But, like, I really believe that that's what I need to do. Because I think that if I show you, like, hey, man, I don't even know you. But, like, I will tell you anything you want to know. Why? Because I felt like that makes you realize that you're in a safe space. When you're in a safe space, you don't feel threatened, and you're willing to work on yourself. And so for me, I went back and I started talking about myself. But like, to be completely honest with you, it sounds boring as shit. I'm talking about, like, for me, I want to get to like my emotions, but like to explain to you my emotions, I have to go way the fuck back in time and talk about all this shit that has nothing to do with my emotions, because it's the story of my life. And it's like this and this and this, and then it's like now this picks in with this goes to this, and it's like it's like building a puzzle. like that. Like I feel like I'm threw out like a million pieces of a puzzle, and I'm trying to put it together. And so I'm trying to figure out. I truly believe that, and I know that this helps people because I did this stuff, and I talked about super vulnerable shit, and dude, I was getting a lot of messages, and people were like, dude, you have no idea. Like, that message hit me, and it really helped me with, like, they didn't tell me what they were going through. They didn't feel comfortable enough, but they were like, hey, man, please keep these videos up. And, like, that was, like, it was, like, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so when you say that you're having trouble just having all these different pieces that you're trying to, like, puzzle together,
yeah,
like, what do you mean by that specifically? What are the puzzles?
I don't know how. Like, I have all these ideas in my head,
Okay.
but like my wife says, she's like, it's like you have the whole universe in your head. Like, I have and I've never met anybody that's really like me. I have like the universe in my head, and she's like, it's just finding the way to like focus it. She's like, that's your biggest problem, because I can have a conversation and then you might say something that'll completely derail me, and I'll fucking end up like 10 miles over that way, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta reel myself back in, and it's like, what was I talking about? Fuck. And then like getting back on, like, that's my biggest issue.
Yeah, so do you feel that the way that you're doing things right now, having trouble piecing the puzzle together and actually having these ideas sort of in your head, do you feel that that is working for you?
I mean,
like 10,000 a month, or do you feel that you need to make some changes?
I think I need to make some changes, but I do think that I believe that it's kind of like my spirituality. Like, I don't really believe in, like, church and all that kind of religious stuff, but I do believe that, like, there is a higher power, and I get this gut feeling, and like when I start doing stuff, I feel like I'm on the right path. And I feel like as long as I follow my gut, that's going to take me to the right path eventually. I'm going to do whatever I'm supposed to do as long as I follow my gut and I block out all the other bullshit. And, like, that's what I've been doing. And I think that without any help, I would get there eventually. But the difference is, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm on a time crunch. Me and my wife want to have a kid by November. And so I'm like, all right, dude, it's go time. Like, let's do this shit. Like, I want to, and it's time management too, because I believe that I can't help you if my own life is not in order. If I'm not balanced myself, I can't do shit. And I'm the most important person in my life. I care about me more than I care about anybody else. When I'm balanced, then I go to the next priority, my wife. Is our marriage balanced? It is? Perfect. What's my house like? My house is balanced? Awesome. Everybody in here is happy. Everyone has what they need? Perfect. Now I move on to my business, which is the podcast. And then it's like, but if anything happens, if like my wife is, she needs something, she's my number one priority. I stop everything. I focus on her, or my son, or my daughter, or, a family member. And so for me, it's like, I feel like I have like the weight of like the whole house on my shoulders, and I'm like, I'm trying to like navigate this shit. I'm just like, and it's very that sounds really horrible. It sounds really stressful, but like at the same time, like I feel like I have the fucking life. Like, I am living the dream. Like, really, like I'm happier than hell. But it's like, it's so funny because I've been diving in myself, but I still have huge issues. Like, me and my wife she's from a different country. She's from Colombia, and so English is her second language. And we will have miscommunications, and like certain things will happen, and like it'll completely derail shit. But it's like, why? Why did I let that one, like she hurt my feelings? And so instead of just like owning that, be like, hey, you hurt my feelings. Like, I fucking blew up like a bomb. And I'm like, why? Like, what, like, really, I truly believe that my wife is, I'm going to be married to her for the rest of my life. She's the most incredible woman ever, but I almost divorced her like a week ago because I spiraled out of control. I got triggered. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. That would have been the worst decision ever, but that's real. And it's like, but like for me, I'm like that means I need to take time to dive into why that happened. I feel like there's so many people I talk to that they have financial problems, they have relationship problems, they have health problems, but it's like nobody ever deals with this shit until like,
Yeah.
oh hey, we're
Yeah,
about to take your house. You just
I
got
can imagine-
cancer.
I can imagine it's not easy trying to find that balance as well, and trying to know where it is to go to look, but it's like you're in a maze with no openings, right? So how long is it that you've actually been looking to get this online business up and running, or
So
create
that
that life for yourself, for your family, and provide and reach that 10K per month goal?
So to be completely honest with you, probably since I don't know, I guess a month ago, really, because like once again, like back to like my problem, like I trade stocks, and I've made a lot of money trading stocks, but that's a mental game, and if you're not balanced, like I was explaining, it goes to shit. You can make an ungodly amount of money
Yeah.
if you can follow your fucking brain. But if something derails you, dude, you can lose everything in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened to me.
You said that as well, that you tried other things as well.
Well, I was trying that, and I was trying real estate, and so like that's the thing is like I started like I thought that I was going to go and start trading stocks, but like really when I stopped and I thought about it, I was like, I don't like my life is not set up right now to where I can trade stocks properly the way I need to. And so I started thinking about it. I had 3 things, right? I love trading stocks. That's probably my most favorite thing in the entire world. And I'm not my life is not in a situation to where I feel like I can do it properly. So I let go of that. Then like we have real estate, but the difference with real estate is like that's not like a big money maker like right away. That's like a wealth generator, and like that's something that I'm going to invest in, and if I do it correctly in 30 years from now, it's going to make money. So then I'm like podcast. And for me, really, I believe it might sound crazy or like cocky or whatever, but like really, I feel like I could add a shit ton of value to people. And I just
It doesn't
don't.
sound crazy. It doesn't sound cocky at all, really. You said that, so you tried 3 different things. You tried the stocks.
I'm
tried
still
real
doing
estate,
3 things.
and you're still doing 3 things.
Yeah,
Have
I'm
you been
still
doing
like
this for the
today.
past-
I'm still doing.
Have you been doing all 3 things for the past month?
No, I've been doing trading stocks. I've been doing trading stocks for 5 years now.
Okay.
I started to dive into real estate last year. I went to go buy a house. My grandpa's house was going to help my family out because
Yeah.
I'm good with numbers. They're telling me their financial situation. I was like, dude, I can fix that in like 5 seconds. Let me buy the house. And that fell through, but then it sparked an idea. I was like, so I started up a business with me, my wife, my brother, my mom, and my stepdad. And we're putting $1,000 a month away to buy our first house. And I think we found a house, but we're not going to be able to buy it until next June. That's what will be the best thing for the family. And I feel like real estate makes it a very interesting thing because yeah, you can go out and just buy a house, or you can go find people that need help, and you can help them.
And why is it that you've been trading stocks for the past few years? You tried real estate, you tried the podcast. Why have you tried those things? Are those all things that you
The lifestyle, man.
vehicles to get you to 10K per month?
No, like for me, like, and I know this might sound like stupid, but like it's really not about the money. It's about the lifestyle. And for me, the reason that I liked trading stocks is you can trade stocks from home. I could be on a laptop once I get good enough. I can trade a laptop from, like, I had this buddy that lives in Australia. Horrible to trade stocks down in Australia. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to start traveling the world. And he went to Dubai for like a month and a half. I have a friend that was on my podcast. He lives in Australia. He's from UK. He goes to Thailand. Like, he travels around and trades stocks. And like, that is a really, really cool thing for me. And like, I don't, like, I can only do my job, my full-time job here. I want to have a job where I can do it anywhere in the world, because that's one of the things I want to do is travel the world everywhere, which is why this is interesting to me. Real estate, once I buy it, really, like, you can manage it, but like for me, like, that's, you're doing stupid shit. Like, you're trying to save a buck, but by you saving a buck, you're adding like an ungodly amount of stress.
Yeah,
if you buy
real
correctly,
estate, it's not something that is going to generate cash, right? Like we said earlier, it's a store of wealth
yeah,
rather than
exactly.
an asset that is going to print you money or at least help you do those things.
Yeah.
So, what is it that's got you not just continuing to trade stocks? Why have you
Like I said,
considered?
like my lifestyle, and I could, like, that's the problem with my work is, like, it's not like they would let me take advantage of the situation, but I could absolutely half-ass my job because I've done that before. Like, I've traded stocks full time at my job, and like, I could absolutely do that, but like, I feel like we have a really good dynamic there right now, and like, really, like, this, like, I worked there. I moved away. I went to Florida. I have a really wild, crazy story. Met my wife, got married really fast, and then we moved back to Kentucky when my boss gave me the job offer. Well, this time working there, this is the best time I've ever worked there in my life. And so for me, if I go back to doing the same shit that I did before and prioritizing trading stocks over that job, I think it ruins it. And me and my brother work together, and like, I don't want to add unnecessary stress to him or any of my coworkers, because like I said, they're like family to me. And so for me, I feel like right now trading stocks is not the right way to go about it. There's another strategy called swing trading where I can buy a stock and I hold it for 2 or 3 days, but that'd be like me starting all over. I'm not going to throw a shit ton of money into that because I have no fucking idea how to do that. I can trade like that now, but I'm going to make, like, with the money that I'm willing to risk, I'm probably going to make like $20, maybe $30 a day. Like, what the fuck's that going to do? I ain't going to do shit. Like,
So what would happen if you didn't trade stocks, but you also didn't run an online business? What would happen if you just continued to stay at your current role, working with your brother, working with your team?
For me, honestly, I would I would hate my life, like, God's honest truth, because for me, I've always thought that, and I'm not judging people. Everybody has their own like life and all that kind of stuff. Like, like, I look at it like a simple life, and for me, like, that's not what I'm supposed to do. Like, I can feel it. I'm not supposed to do that. And so for me, it's like, I don't want to be one of those dudes that's like, tries to do the whole bullshit 401k, like, retire. Like, for me, I think 401ks are a load of shit. Because I've dived into the financial thing, and like when you really understand the system behind it, like, to me, I know this sounds like conspiracy theory, but like, really, I feel like it, like, the whole, like, dream, like, go and find a good job, work your ass off, like, you're a slave no matter what. Like, you're either a low paid slave or you're a high paid slave, but you're a slave. I'm not for that.
A lot of people settle for that, though, right?
I can't settle.
Why is that something that's not ideal for you?
Because I can't settle, and like I can feel it. Like, when something's not right in my life, like, I know it sounds crazy, but like, I get like, I can feel it, and like, it does something to me, and it spirals me out of control. And like, this happened when like, everyone bitches and moans about COVID. That's like what, like, changed my life. I'm so thankful for COVID, because it was like a hard reset on my life. And I, like, when I was stuck in a room, I had the biggest fucking ego in the world, and it just shattered my ego. And like, after that, like, when I was alone, I started thinking for myself, and I went down this rabbit hole where I was like, dude, I'm not fucking happy. And I remember talking to my kickboxing coach, and he's like, dude, you haven't been happy in years. And like, when he said that, it really made me think about it. I was like, he's right. I haven't been happy for years, but why? Like, I thought I was living the dream. I thought I was living the life that I wanted to live, but like, myself, my soul knew that that's not what I was supposed to do, and that's why I believe in God. I believe in something, because you can feel it. We're all connected. All humans are connected, in my opinion, and it sparked something in me, and I can't turn it off, and I don't want to turn it off, because I feel like that's my purpose in life, and it makes me feel alive. And I'm not at the very beginning, I was so self-conscious, because I had a decent amount of people that were following me, and when I started saying things that were really real about me, people thought I was fucking crazy. Like, for instance, dude, I'm so a little backstory. Like, I was engaged to this girl when COVID happened. Like, I was alone. I started dating girls, and like I feel like I wanted a relationship. And I wanted to find something that was real, because I never had any of that. I had a lot of women, but like I don't even know their names. Like I don't remember. It was just like, it's like being like a rock star kind of lifestyle. And I broke up with one girl that I thought was gonna be like, I cared about her since I was really young, and that fell apart. Then I met this other girl that really was like just like me, and that was a fucking disaster, and she almost ruined my life, or I almost allowed her to ruin my life, because I didn't have the balls to say no to shit. But then like it's really funny, because I had all this stuff, and I remember I was so terrified about going to Florida. I thought I ruined my fucking life, and I told my uncle, and we were all having this conversation. I was like, I get this gut feeling that I'm supposed to go to Florida, but like I'm terrified. I don't know why I'm supposed to go to Florida. And my uncle told me that that's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. At that time, I was atheist. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't believe in God and all that stupid shit. And but like when he started talking to me, I don't know if it's the Holy Spirit or whatever. Like I said, I have my own different. I don't believe in religion really, but like I believe that something was speaking to me, and because when I started following it, I went to my house I just bought that I never even seen before. I've never been there, and I bought this freaking house I can't afford, and I go down there and I rent it out to this lady, which is like, that's a whole story in itself. And dude, the day I open up the door, I swear to God, people think I'm fucking crazy. At least the people that I've told. Dude, I opened the door, I knew the second I saw my wife that I was just like, there was so like I didn't know that I was gonna marry her, but like it's like I had a connection. There was a connection.
Yeah, so there was a connection there. Where does that leave you now, though? Like you said, you don't want to settle, and you can't turn it off, and you can't go back to having this belief that other people have, where you have to work a job and you have to work your way up. So why not? Why are all those things important that you can't do that?
See, I like talking to people like you, because nobody ever asks me questions. I always ask everybody else questions. I like this shit, but like I don't know. Like I feel like it's boring. Honestly, it's boring as shit. Like going and doing the same thing over and over and over for years, and like so what? I get 3 weeks of vacation, so I get 3 weeks to go actually live life. How the fuck is that living life? Like for some people, that like they need security. I don't need security. I have no problem with risk. Like that's half my problem. That's why I made the business the way I did, because my brother, my mom. Well, my brother and my mom are like super like against risk at all. They won't risk shit. My wife is like right in the middle, and then me and my stepdad, we don't give a fuck. And so it's like a perfect balance. Yeah. And so like that's why I made the business. But like for me, it's like I'd rather risk something and like absolutely fuck up and feel alive than just be a fucking robot. And I feel like that's where people are going, and like it makes me sad, because I also don't think that I think that if people are being real, there's a lot more people like me, or like maybe not like me, but like I feel like there's a lot of people that are living life and they just fucking hate it, and you can see it every day. The second like you have something in your head snap, it's like your reality changes. It's like you come out of this fog or something, and you're like, dude, everyone's fucking miserable. Why? Why is everyone so sad? Like if you really, really look at people and like you just shut up and you watch shit, dude, like I would say like 80-90% of people are just fucking miserable. Why? That shouldn't be like that. Like,
But people settle, right? So it's what we spoke about earlier. And
yeah,
the people who do end up achieving the life that they want for themselves, who do have the lifestyle where they can work from wherever they want, and they are making money online, they are all risk takers. And I can tell that you're a risk taker just from the way that I mean, you're on this call, right? The way that we've spoken.
yeah.
But let's say now a few years go by. You said earlier that if you didn't get this set up, if you didn't,
I don't have a few years
why not?
because
What
so,
does hate life look like?
huh?
What does hating your life? What does that look like?
Oh, I don't hate my life. Like really, like maybe
No,
that
no,
that
no,
might.
I know you said you don't hate your life right now, but you said if you didn't
So
get this,
I don't know how most people are because I just recently kind of like figured this out about myself. I play scenarios in my head. And so like whenever like this conversation, I like before this conversation happened, I had like 10, 15 different scenarios of how this play went out. It's really funny though because every time I come up with scenarios, like this is somewhat it's like a mix between like the good scenarios. It's not exactly the same because I have no control over you and I had no input on who you are. But like for me, one of the main things is I really cared about my wife a lot. She was fucking phenomenal. Best woman I've ever met in my life. But she's older than me. She's 40 years old right now. And one of the things was like I never wanted kids. I never wanted to get married. But after my ex, like she made me realize that I think I want to have kids. And so like that was one of the things that was a major conversation with me and my wife. I was like, hey, I might not have been the best dude in the world with like, I chased a lot of girls, but like one thing I always was is I was honest. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna go on a date with you, but I have a date with another girl in like 3 hours. And some of the girls would get pissed the fuck off. I'm like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, hey, the only way you can get mad at me is if I'm not honest with you. So I'm being honest. I got a date with you. If I like you, I'll cancel the other date. If I don't, then have a good night. I'm gonna go with the other one. And like, but I was always honest. And so with my wife, I was like, hey, I really like you. I could really see like us giving this a chance or whatever, but you don't want to have kids. And like that was like one of the things that we're just like, no. I said I don't want to have kids because all I've ever met in my life is giant pieces of shit. Every man I've ever been with has just been horrible. She's like, but with you, I would absolutely have a kid with you. And so I was just like, damn, all right. Well, now I need to figure out like, all right, well, how do we do that? She's has 2 kids, so we have a really weird makeup, right? Like, but anyways, like that's gonna be way too long of a story. But like, the big thing is, if we don't have a kid, I don't know how I'm gonna react to that. It's like I said with the scenarios. Like, I believe that if I give everything I got to try and it just doesn't work, okay, then like it's not in my cards. But what I'm worried about is if I don't try and we never have a kid, is that gonna like eat at me? Is that gonna like ruin my amazingness? And like you can say no, but why did I just get into a giant fight like a week ago? The reason was because we're in debt, and the whole problem is we want to get out of debt before we have a kid, and we were spending too much money. I'm a numbers guy. I was like, hey, we're never gonna get to our goal in November. So what the fuck's going on? Like, are we doing this or are we not doing this? And so like that like once we sat down and like we talked and got to an understanding of each other, like it's been phenomenal. And it's like, but like that's why like I started talking to her. I was like, I don't know if trading stocks is the right way to do it. I don't know if real estate is really not going to do anything, like unless you go and flip a house or something like that, which I don't have any experience doing. I could absolutely fuck it up. So I'm like, that's a lot of risk. And trading stocks, I could, but like at the same time, I know for me, I make money trading stocks when I don't need to make money. If I have a lot of debt or I have a lot of pressure on me, I do stupid shit and I try to force trades, and I'll lose a fuck ton of money. I made a ungodly amount of money. Like, dude, I made like your 10K a month. Like, I could absolutely do that, but my lifestyle now is not what it was back then. And so I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work, man. And so, like, this podcast idea, I'm like, I also don't know if this is going to work either. So I'm just like, but at the same time, I love doing it. And so I'm like, well, I love doing all of them. And so, like, my wife was saying, you know, just try and just like go. And like, she says something like, she says that if you're supposed to do something, God will open the doors. And I believe that, because at the first time I ever heard that, I was like, this woman's crazy. She's one of those like Jesus lovers or some shit. And like, but then like, really, dude, like everything she thought about, it just opened the doors. And I was like, I don't know. So I just kind of took a step back, and then the next thing you know, like this, I saw a post on the. I follow Alex Hermosi, and he's like an inspiration to me. And I saw him talking about school, got on here, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I was like, this could be like my YouTube thing, or like I could build up a community, because really I don't want all the outside bullshit. I don't want the trolls. I don't want all the stupid shit. I want people that are like-minded, that want help. How do I get them?
When you were in school, what was it about Ted that made you want to vote the score? What made you think?
Honestly, like Ted, the thing, and I know, like, I know you guys are all salesmen. I know that like that's your job, but like the thing that I like about all of you guys is like, yes, you're absolutely trying to sell me, but like I believe you. And it's like I you guys, like the one thing that I love about this company is like you're the second person I talk to, but like all the videos I watch, Ted, like you guys are genuine, and I feel like that's the thing that sets you apart from everything else. Is like, you know, because like this is supposed to be a 30-minute call. You've been talking to me for 42 minutes, and like, you know, I haven't even got the sales pitch yet. Like, if you were a salesperson, you would have been like, dude, I gotta sell this guy. He talks too fucking much.
Yeah, look, like anything, everything has an investment. You knew that.
Exactly, yeah.
I can't present anything if I first don't understand how we can actually help you.
But that's the difference between you and a salesperson. Most salespeople don't give a shit.
It's because sales isn't about selling. Sales is about giving, right?
Well, if you do it right, which I feel like most people don't. I feel like everyone's so corrupted by the money that they fuck up the sell.
Yeah, and that's why there's such a big screening process that we have. The fact that you can't just book this call specifically from anywhere, right? You have to speak to people on our team first. And if we believe that we can help you further, and we can get you to where you want to be in that quicker space of time, then we take you on this call.
So what's your gut feel then? Do you think you can actually help me? How would you, like, from what I've said, what would your game plan be going forward for me personally?
Moving forward, just before I get on the game plan, the reason that I'm asking these questions is just because I want to understand how your business would look and feel like, but also the way that your life would look and feel like. And so, again, I have to preface that a lot of people are in your situation, right, where they're trying to provide for their families. They've got a family that they need to support, or a future family that they need to support, and they want to set their own community, want to set their own business up, but they don't put in the work to make it happen. They are perfectly happy just settling, right? So I do have to ask, like, why is building a family so important to you? Why is providing and being there for your wife and your future kid, why does that mean so much?
Because I feel like that's what a husband's supposed to do. And like I feel like I like teaching people, like my son, right? I don't just bark, like I feel like I know this is gonna sound fucked up, but like I view kids kind of like dogs. Like you look at people that are dog owners and like they have a cool ass dog and they just throw it in a crate and they don't give a fuck about it. Like that's how I explained my real dad walked out on me. But when I got on TV and I was fighting kickboxing and stuff, like he magically came back in my life and he's like, dude, look at my boy. He's doing this. I was like, dude, you're probably just getting laid at like your fucking bar because you're like, look at what I produced. I produced a stud. And it's like, but like, that's fucked up, man. Like most people are just like they don't even talk to the kids. They don't do anything with their kids. They don't teach their kids. Like I believe that my job is to teach my kids to have a better life than I have. And my job is to not be selfish and put others before myself and make sure that like I need to care about myself the most in my life. And like I know that sounds very contradicting that I put others before me, but like these guys have earned it. And
Yeah,
like
but you have to help yourself to help others, though, right? You can't
exactly.
just help your family. You can't provide for them if you don't actually take the risks and take the steps and actions that you need to look after yourself first.
Which is
So,
why I need to do trading stocks, real estate, or something like this. I have an ambitious side, like a craving that I like a hunger for a better life, and that's what makes me feel alive, and so that's why I do this stuff.
whose responsibility is it to create that better life?
Me, it's only on me. It's my choices. It's
Why is it only yours? Can I ask?
because I'm in control of my own life. Like I feel like that's the biggest problem is like think about everything that's happened in your life. Like the worst thing that ever happened. And I could be wrong. Like I don't know what that is, but I would say that you probably are at fault for that. If you like you're really honest and you really pull that back, it's like no matter what happens, you're at fault too. The problem is it's so much easier to blame other people. Like if me and my wife don't have a kid, part of me would want to blame her because it's easier. That's a load of shit. I made decisions that might or might not have set us back, and that setback might have been enough of a setback to make me miss that opportunity. But that's life. We all get one chance at this life. Like no matter what your belief is, like there might or might not be a heaven. The way I look at it is, what if this is heaven? Like you think about it, like you listen to like any of the Bibles or whatever, heaven on earth.
Yeah.
Well, think about that. Your brain. You're either in hell or you're in heaven, and it's all about a mindset. What if we're all connected? What if like all this shit is, I don't know, like for me it's like that's what my gut is. It's like I follow it, and it's like I make decisions. I don't always make the right decisions. But I made that decision, and I own it. It's not my wife's fault. It's not my brother's fault. It's not my kid's fault. My mom, nothing. It's mine. All these decisions are mine.
Why do you feel like now is the right time for you to make this decision?
Because my gut told me. Because I when I watched the videos, I could feel it. I know this might sound crazy, but like I really feel it in my heart. Like I can feel, and I've gotten really good at that over the years. Like it used to be really, really, really faint, and I could never feel it. But like now, I can feel it, and when I feel it, it's like, and dude, you might be like, hey, this is not a right fit for you. No problem. I'm not gonna be pissed off or whatever. Like I'll be a little bit bummed, but like my answer is gonna be like, cool. I'm gonna go back and rewatch this. And I'm going to learn something from this, and I'm going to do it anyways. Because, yeah, I believe that, like, you guys could potentially get me there way faster, but I'm going to get there anyways. Because I've been saying that for years, and, like, the second I started saying that, like, the first time I said that, I was like, do I really believe that statement I just said?
Do you believe that statement now?
Yes, I really do. And like I know I'm going to make it, 100%. I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't know if it's trading stocks. I don't know if it's real estate or, dude, it might not be any of these things. But for some reason, each one of these things, like trading stocks, is extremely important to me because it made me dive into my mind. Who am I? Who is Adam Edgerton? That was super fucking powerful. Real estate, I believe, is a very good way to add generational wealth. That's not really for me. More, it is, but it's also for like my kids. I want to teach them things and provide them with a better life than I have. I don't know exactly how to go about doing that because I feel like if you do it wrong, it corrupts them. Because that's why all these people that are super rich, their kids end up doing drugs and all this shit because they're out of balance. And so, like, I don't know exactly how to do it, but, like, I love talking to people. Like, this conversation makes me happy as fuck. I don't know if this conversation is going to end well in my benefit or not, but, like, I don't really give a shit. Like, I'm enjoying it. And so, as long as I'm enjoying it and I feel like I connected with you, I clicked with you for some reason. And so for me, I'm like, whatever it is, I'm supposed to be on this call with you. And so I'm like, okay. I know it sounds crazy, man, but like I really feel like God's guiding me. Really. Like I don't know if like you're religious or
that doesn't sound crazy at all. Everything is a learning experience. Your last call, this call, whatever happens moving forwards. So now, let's flash forward. And the version of you who is making 10K a month, who is providing for his wife, providing for his kid, and does have the lifestyle to continue doing the things that he actually wants to do. What does that situation look like?
That looks like me winning the lottery, basically. Like, this all kind of started because my wife is she thinks that she's going to win the lottery. And, like, the other day, like, I looked at her, I was like, you're missing it. We already won the lottery. We already have the lottery. What would your life look like if you actually won the lottery? I feel like people don't actually think about that. But I'm like, really, the only thing that would change for me is, like, I would eventually quit my job. I would not quit my job like the day I won the lottery because that would fuck them over, and that's wrong. And so for me, I would start the baby steps of transitioning it out, or I'd just buy the company and be the boss and help them manage it, which is it's definitely something I've joked around with my boss. But I would trade stocks. I would go out and buy good properties. Just because I have a ton of money does not mean I would just go out and buy houses. I'm still going to find good deals and do things exactly the same way that I would today, but with more money. And I would do the same thing. I would have freedom to do whatever. Like, you know, and I'm not going to just be lazy and just blow all my money. Like, and I really want to help people. Like, one of the biggest issues in America is the immigration process. That's also because a lot of people don't understand the immigration process. And these people that are coming, like, I feel horrible for them. Nobody has any fucking idea what those people went through to get here. They're fed this fucking bullshit story that America is wide open. Come on through. The cartel brings them to America, and then they get here, and the Americans are pissed off and handcuffing them and deporting them. Like, what are those people going to do? Those people are fucked. So a lot of those people are gonna die, dude. Like really. Like, I know that sounds dramatic, but like, they are like thousands and thousands of miles away from their house. The only way they even got there is because the cartel marched them through the fucking jungles. Like, my wife tells me about, like, to get from Colombia to the American border, you have to go through Panama. You gotta go through Costa Rica, and like they're hiking, dude. Some of these people have been walking for 3 fucking months, and with a guide that they sold their house, they sold everything to get here.
To help people?
Yes, I believe, but like, not just me. I believe that everyone needs to help people, and that for some reason I feel like people are so fucking selfish that, like, dude, like how hard is it for, like, you see somebody having a bad day? How fucking difficult is it for you to just stop for 5 seconds, like, I don't know, have a conversation, like, snap them out of it. Hey, like this old lady was like, dude, I saw this old lady from, like, when I was pulling into the parking lot, and there's all these people walking past her. She's clearly struggling to put the fucking groceries in her car. And it's like, you have all these fucking, in my opinion, dickheads. But, like, at the same time, that's fucked up and it's not right. But, like, that's the first thing that comes to my head is, like, what fucking pricks? But, like, these guys are in their own bubble. They don't even recognize anything. They're not even present. But, like, you walk in and it's like, hey, ma'am, can I help you? And, like, dude, you just see her face. And you just made her fucking day. You might have made her month, for all you know. And, like, sometimes, like, I do that, and that's it. Other times, like, she'll tell me, like, oh, you know, thank you so much. My husband used to do this, but he just passed away. And I'm like, okay, like, how hard is it for you to take 5 minutes to be like, hey, I'm very sorry for your loss,
No one else,
you know?
no one else does that.
Yeah, but
No one
why?
does that. No
Why?
one else takes time. What would that freedom do for you?
I feel like it would allow me to, A, be super happy in my own life, but, like, I also believe that the happier I am, the more happy or the more good I spread around. But, like, I don't believe that it's just me, though. I believe if you can do that for everybody, like, how fucking powerful is that? Imagine if there was 1 million of me. 1 million. You know, like, really, if I start making this money, like, you might think I'm crazy, but, like, I tell my wife all the time, like, we're going to have so much money one day where we're not going to know what the fuck to do with it. I was like, but the thing is, I don't want to be like these guys that are they're billionaires, like George Soros. That dude's a fucking piece of shit, dude. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? That one single person could change millions of lives, but he's such a greedy cocksucker that he just ruins the fucking world. It's like,
why do you feel like you need to change lives? Because again,
because I feel like that's what everyone's purpose on earth is. Like, that goes back to my spirituality. Like, dude, I believe that, like I said, like, what if this is heaven? What if this one life is heaven? Like, what if we're all connected? What if this is way more powerful, way more complex than everybody understands? I could be wrong and we just die and then it's gone. But, like, okay, who gives a fuck? I'm here for one life. Like, I might as well make this the best life I can ever make it. And I might as well make everybody else. Dude, if I could change everybody's life on this planet, why not? Why not help other people?
So helping other people and not only having the money come in, but also the lifestyle that it brings, being able to provide for your family. When you take a step back and you look at the big picture, what's the dream goal here?
That is a dream goal. Like, have the lifestyle to where I have time that I can put into everything, like where I can put time into trading stocks, put time into, like, okay, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I go downstairs, I have a treadmill, I run like 6 miles in the morning, I eat a good breakfast, I have some coffee, I do my meditation, I relax, I get in a sauna or a hyperbolic chamber and relax, come upstairs, look at stocks, trade stocks for till 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, I go check on my rental properties. Rental properties are good, nothing going on. Cool, I don't have to do that step. All right, now I screw around on the podcast unless my wife wants to go out and get lunch or the kids need something or the dogs need played with. Like, that's what I mean. It gives you options, and that way you can follow your gut. When you don't have options, I feel like it cuts you off from your heart, and you can't follow what you're supposed to do. And, like, I feel like that's the thing. Is like I heard this guy was talking about something about I've never read the Bible before, but, like, he's saying in the Bible that, like, it says that, like, you're never supposed to be a slave to anybody. But, like, I feel like everybody is a slave. And it's like, how do you help people break away from that? Like, how do you do but you can't help people if you can't help yourself first. So my first priority is, okay, I need to break the matrix. Once I break out of this shit, like, awesome. Now I work on my wife. The same thing I did before. What is your dream life like? She already told me her dream. I was like, okay, I'm going to make that come true. I will make that come true. I don't know if it has to do with you, if it's trading stocks or whatever, but I will make that come true. After that, like, what do my kids want? my daughter's boyfriend want? What does my brother want? What does my mom and stepdad? What's my other dad? What's my brother and sister want? Okay, my family's set. Now how do I go to my community? What's my town need? Like, how can I add value to my town, my state, my country, and it levels up?
Helping one person as well is a compounding effect. Just by you helping someone, that person will then help someone else.
But imagine if
it goes up, right? So I have to ask. You know that just based on what we've spoken about and what I've heard, you know that you don't want to stay in this matrix, right? You don't want to be a slave or settle, but not actually being able to create this life where you are able to look after your family, provide, help people, and just have the freedom to do the things that you want to do. So when does the soul get started? When do you make the soul a reality?
hell, I have no idea. It might start at the end of this call. It might start I don't know. Like I said, dude, I'm just following my gut. Like when I get that gut feeling, like even if you give me the sales pitch to do this next thing, I'm going to tell you I can't give you a definitive answer right now because I need to talk to my business partners. Hey, do you guys want to be a part of this? If they don't, that's completely fine. The difference is how I look at it is right now I have a pie graph with 5 people. Do you want to be a part of it? How do you add value to it? If you don't want to be a part of it, cool. I'm down to 4. I'm down to 3. I could get all the way down to, like, for me, you could give me a sales pitch and I can tell you right now I would do it. Just because like I believe that you can help me. And I have a very, very strong feeling this is exactly what I'm supposed to do. I don't think it's trade. Maybe something in my community has something to do with trading stocks and real estate. But like, I believe that this is my main purpose. And I really do believe that I'm going to be making a shit ton of money doing this by helping people. And because I feel really good, something in my brain clicked in this conversation. It's like, I need to help people. That's what I want to do. I really, truly want to help people and add. It's like you said, compounding. What if there was literally, like, it's not even that hard. Imagine 100,000 of me. If there was 100,000 people that just fucking woke up and started doing the same shit that I'm doing, dude, the world changes around real fucking quick. Like, really. And, like, that's so powerful. And so, like, I really believe in that. But I can't make the decision because the whole reason I'm making this business is I don't want to be the boss. I don't want to be the master. That's the problem that I feel like with all these really rich people is they get an ego, they get a power drive. Like I'm not better than any of the people in my business. We are all equal and they all deserve an equal chance to make a decision. I can absolutely make a decision for me. So I will tell you right now, I haven't even heard your sales pitch, but I'm going to do it. Whether the other 4 are going to do it, I don't know. But
is the other 4's responsibility though, or is it yours?
But that's the thing though. Like even if it is my responsibility, I started this business. I started everything with them, and so they are with me, like as equals until they decide that they don't want to. If I do this. But that's the thing though. If I traded stocks, I'm not asking them to trade stocks. What they're giving me is they all have their place. Like some people will tell me, "Hey, Adam, we're too busy. Don't trade stocks today." My mom's like my counselor. Like when I get depressed and shit, like she'll help me out. When I get pissed off, my wife has like fucking magic hands. She touches me and I just calm the fuck down. Like we're all together. Like that's the thing though. Like it's me doing the job.
Would it be fair to say then that your business partners, they would want you to be successful with this? They would
absolutely.
That 10K from the club.
Absolutely. Because they know that I'm going to change their lives. And because I really mean that. Like even if I started making a ungodly amount of money and it was me, like I have to make sure that I don't let the money go to my head. I need to do the right things. I need to be the person that I promised them at the very beginning. I sold them a dream. I was a salesman. I sold them a dream. I need to deliver on that dream. Because if I don't, then I'm a shitty fucking salesman. I'm the same thing that I despise in salespeople. I think that salespeople are absolutely like what you're doing. I believe that you are a very good salesperson. You're like, I feel like it's different though. It's not a salesperson.
I don't view myself as a salesperson. Like I know we've joked around in terms of like the sales pitch, but there is no sales pitch.
What like how do you view yourself actually? Because like I don't know what it is.
I view myself as helping people, and my role on this call isn't to sell you anything, isn't to make you buy anything that you don't want. My goal is to help you overcome yourself. I'm simply a mirror of your best and worst parts. And my role here on this call is to help you get closer to the best.
So
I have to ask, like, you know that your business partners, they would want you to go ahead and move forward with this, right? They would want you to get to that 10K.
Yeah.
Do they know that you're on this call right now?
Probably not, because I sent to them the recording from the call yesterday, and I told them all to watch it, and they probably didn't watch it. So,
how do you think they would react to this call when you tell them, if you tell them?
I'm first off, I'm recording this right now, and I'm going to put this up on my podcast because I feel like there was such good conversations in this that this is going to be part of my podcast. If you're okay with that, I'll cut out whatever.
If it helps you, I'm okay with it. You can you can do that. But you haven't told your team that, or your partners.
I tried. I in my own way. I talked to my little brother a little bit this morning about it. But like they all, like I said, like it's kind of a weird, and I don't know if it's a good business structure, but like it fits well with us. And so like it's like I'm the boss, but I'm not the boss. Like they all like they're learning from me, and like they're
that's how this business is. Like Ted is the so-called boss, but there's no we don't class ourselves as employees working for him, but rather we work with him. So you don't have to view yourself as the boss, but
I don't know how I'm not a super educated person, which is another thing that you don't know. Like my delivery, I get into fights with people all the time because my delivery is horrible because I don't have a huge vocabulary. So like I don't know how else to word that. But like what you're saying and like what you said like earlier about what you do, like that's what I want to do. Like what you're doing right now, like I feel like is super. Like that's probably why I click with you. Is because I want to be a different version of you in my own way, like.
And you can do that. That comes from having belief in yourself that you can do this and you can make the decisions that you need to for you and the people around you. That do you feel confident that you can make those decisions, that you can be the person that your partners, that your family needs you to be?
So absolutely, and I think that the thing that like the gut feeling that I'm having come through right now is, what is the next steps that I make with you? Because I'm going to make the decision and I'm going to do this. Like how do I go about doing it? And then afterwards, because no matter what my business partners say, I'm doing it.
Yeah. And
so if they want to come with me, we can figure out down the road how. And if not, then I mean, no worries. It's my family. I'm going to help them out regardless anyway. So it doesn't really fucking matter, I guess.
Well, based on what we've gone over, and just everything that we spoke about here, like I'm 100% confident that you can do this, and you can be that person, be a family, and your partners. Do you want me now just to take a little bit of time to give you the so-called sales pitch, or?
Yeah, sure. So before I'm going to stop my recording because This is personal, and so. But anyways, I'm going to be sharing this, and like I hope that everybody that joins Topics on the Edge, like they get to learn like why I want to do what I'm doing, and hopefully by throwing this out there, that people will see like really like a raw feeling of how I want to build this community. I really truly want to help you, and I will do everything I can in my power to give you the life that you want to live. What that means for you is up to you, but I really believe that I can do something to add value to your life. So stay tuned, and I will be back. Hey guys, so I want to first start off by saying how fucking proud of you I am for watching this entire video. I know it's a very, very long video, but I also believe that, I don't know, because you watch this video, I am like, we are partners. Like I was going to take care of you regardless if you watch this or not, but because you've invested in yourself, you're now my business partner. I don't know how that video spoke to you, but I believe that every single one of you guys that watched this entire video is going to be spoken to. And now we need to really figure this out. How I'm going to know that you watched this all the way to the very end is, well, A, the analytics off the video, but then B, I want you to write done and how the video spoke to you in the comment section. If I don't see you writing done or how it spoke to you in the comment section, then I'm going to know that you didn't do anything. And for those of you that did watch this, like I said, I'm very proud of you, but everybody else, I'm going to do my best to take care of you regardless, but my team and me are the most important thing. And if me throwing resources at people that aren't going to invest in themselves, I can't do that. And I hope that you understand that. I love each and every one of you guys, but that's my decision. So those that watch this, I love you and thank you for believing in me. You know, but I'm still going to take care of those that, you know, didn't. It's just, it's going to be a while.